Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. All right, jump into it. First, let's look over here at the old signal screen. And over here this morning, I've seen a couple of them pop through. I've seen XPUN up 109%, SNOA up 127%, and XOS up 51%. So there are definitely some movers this morning. Let's go look into them. Okay. All right, so let's jump over here. First, we'll start off with the biggest mover, SNOA. So this one pushed up from down here at $4 all the way up to $8. Another one called XPUN pushed up there to $3.50. Another one called XOS. So we need to go and do a little bit of reading on these. Let's start off with the top volume mover here. I don't know why XPUN is showing with this. Oh, 50 million shares traded. I was about to say. All right, so let's go with XPUN. Today is the 14th, so it doesn't have any press releases from the company on the day. Let's look for SEC filings. No SEC filings on that either. Let's look at SNOA. SNOA, no SEC filings, and no press releases. There was one called IVP I saw down here, I think, IVP that popped up. But it was only, it's up 38%. Okay. Something's got to have some catalyst, right? Unless today's going to be a no catalyst day. Then SOX, press releases. Okay. So yeah, it looks like everything that's up today does not have any real catalyst. BSLK ended up dying this morning. Let's see what else we got. TA, GM, SNG. Okay, so just looking at the relative volumes, SOS, let me say this right, XOS has a relative volume of 170. So a lot of people got interested over there. Only 4 million traded on the day. SNOA has 31 times its norm, 27 million over here. And XPUN has 53 RVOL with 51 million in the volume. Okay, so let's go look at the charts for these. We'll start off with the highest volume of XPUN, and we'll look over here at the daily chart and see what's going on. None of these have any standout catalysts, so that's off the table. We are past the 6 o'clock mark where all retail traders can start trading. So let's go ahead and jump over here to the daily chart on these. Let's see what kind of levels we can see. Make sure we're on the right frame. Yep. Okay. So today it has went all the way up to 350 on XPUN. So it had a high up here of 178. It definitely gapped above that. We're just gonna have to go back until we find obvious levels around that. Okay, so it stopped around this 350 level up here. So I'm going to mark this as a possible level, possible day level. It did have a gap here as well, so I'm going to mark this gap as well from, well, let me go ahead and make this one possible daily level. Daily. Okay. Bang, bang. So that's, and then we also want to capture that wick as well. Okay, so from 441 down to 368. There was a wick there, and then here we have a super obvious gap that it filled here. So these could be possible levels here at 324. I shouldn't have did that. Let me duplicate. So it had a gap down in here. And we got a couple of levels. So definitely some I'm just taking the most obvious levels, these four levels, 260, 322, 368, and 441. And if we come over here and look at the actual chart here on the 15-minute, we can see how those levels are stacking up to where it is now. So this was that wick up there, 550, well, 551. Oh, that's from another day. Okay, so 551 is from another day. I'll get rid of that. Remove. All right, but now the most obvious things, 441, 368, 322, and 260. So we can see it hit this 322, came down to this 260, has already tested once back here, tested once here. Let's go to the next one, SNOA. Okay, SNOA, let's go over to the daily chart. Looks like I marked this one up before as well, but I'm gonna get rid of all of this because we want a day trade. I like starting with the clean chart. And so we got closed at 305, went all the way to 832. So let's back up till we see that price. 832 was the high. So somewhere around this level right here. So where it slowed down. It's got a possible daily level up here at 938. Okay, any other? So there's one down here, 589. Another little peak. Whoops. Keep creating more and more. Okay. Possible there. But it's not over 938, so I'm just gonna leave that where it is and just use. And this one has been tested. It's not right around the $6 level. Has been tested multiple times. If we back up, there's a little bit of a gap back here. $735s could come into play there, and then under that, I think it's just weakness if it continues to trade under that 732. All right, let's flip over here to the regular chart and see how that stacks up over here. So we got that top side 938, 732, and that $6 level there. We'll see how it reacts around those. All right, another one was IVP. Okay, IVP, this one, 14 million shares, super thickly traded, $1 stock. Don't see, it's only came up once this session. I don't see any more pops for it, so I'm going to leave that one off. It's a cheaper one. The ATR from yesterday was only 8 cents. So the way that I play it is I try to get 25% of whatever the ATR is. So if it's 8 cents, what is our expectation for that? 8 times 0.25 would be 2. You'd be looking for 2-cent wins. So that is not what I want to do. XOS went up to a high of 601. Let's jump over there. Let's clear the chart. Well, actually, I mean, these marks may still be relevant here. XOS closed at 349. Jumped up over this level. It's at 5 something now, so it got over all of this. These 430 level down here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of all this. Okay, so remove, clear my drawing set. Gonna make a new one. Possible daily levels. going to duplicate. Definitely have something up here to 626. Duplicate. Got this top side right here that's been tested a couple of times. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let's back up just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, above 626 is going to be a hard push. It only went up to 6. Let's jump back over here to the daily, or not the daily, the 15, or this 1 minute. 15 minutes is what I meant to be looking at. 15 minute. And looking at how those are playing there. So that 626 is up there, 430s to 409s is down there. It's kind of just sitting still. BSLK back under $10 now. So that was the one that ripped up crazy yesterday. It's a personal healthcare company, and I just was not thinking that it was going to be doing all this, so I ended up trading something totally different. I traded WBTN here, WBTN, and I got in at 1466. So it got up here, and I was watching it play around. I got in right here at 1466 when it dropped and dipped down here. I was adding, I added multiple times in this little wick here. And then it bounced on up 14, up to 15, up to 16. And I actually sold on this candle here, and it continued up. I got back in very small positions, got stopped out on this candle. And then got back in very small and got this ride up here to like 17 something. That was it. I was like, yeah, I think it's going to crash out. But it ended up going all the way to 1845. So it is what it is. Let me see what the 5 minute looks like on this one. So yeah, that was a trade from yesterday. Just a nice little, this is where I was in right here. So it came down and I was like, ooh, this looks good. And so as soon as it started hitting this, I started adding a little bit, but I was like, well, if it falls, because you can see where I started adding, where these red lines are. Let me zoom in a little bit. This was my first ads right here. This was my risk where it started. So I added a little bit here and then continued to add into this dip, and then we started getting a motion out, and I just added at 1450, and then I let the rest ride, and it rolled up a good little bit. So that was a pretty nice move. And each one of these levels that you see moving is an ad. So basically this is where the risk was at first, and I was risking 72 bucks. So it would have needed to drop all the way down here to 1233 for me to lose 72 bucks. Then I added some, it came up, added some more around this level, came up, and so that was it. Just riding it on up to the 16. Riding it on up to the 16. But anyway, back over to where we are today. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one and BSLK because it's dead. And we got 3 on the watch, and yeah, those are the only ones that I'm seeing on the spike list as of now. Seeing SOX, SOS coming on back up a little bit. We can see these spikes. It's telling us it is a spiker. Got to be quick because it looks like people are ready to sell, ready to sell, ready to sell, ready to sell. Let's look over here on SONA. A couple of spikes, but more of a trend upward on SNA, the 122. Looking at the ATRs from yesterday, XPun had an ATR of 11 cents closing yesterday. It now has 27 cents. So, you know, a little over double the ATR from yesterday. SNOA had 22 cents. It is up to 58 cents. So a little bit, it's doubled. SOX was 19 cents. It is 36 cents in the ATR now. And I'm looking over here on my charts because that's the first thing I'm looking for. What is the average true range on these stocks, right? So looking for something that can actually pay me out some money. And I'm looking for something that can, I mean, really, I want the possibility of at least getting 30 cents. So to at least get 30 cents, it's going to need an ATR above 30, right? So SNOA has a ATR above 30, you know, but the way that I trade it is once I get 10 cents, I go ahead and lock in that, put my stop where that 10 cents is. So even if it does drop down, I'll at least have 10 cents in pocket. And if it does continue to push, I lock in the 20, lock in the 30. And as it gets tighter, I start locking in 5 cents. So it'll be 35, 45, 55. So as long as it's not knocking me out. What else? What else? X-Plan. Okay. So let's jump over here to the calendar and look for these IPOs on the day. Are there any? Okay, so we got Boo Group, which looks to be opening up around $4 to $6. Boo Group Limited. Boo Group Limited is a provider of comprehensive meetings. Is a provider of comprehensive meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. MICE solutions, delivering event management and stage production. Its marketing services portfolio spanning across 2 core areas. Okay, so I'm not doing that one. Let's look at MIAX. So this is Miami International Holdings Inc. is a technology-driven leader in I lost myself. Leader in building and operating regulated financial marketplaces across multiple asset classes and geographies. Its MIAX exchange marketplaces are enabled by its in-house built proprietary technology. It maintains a broad portfolio of U.S. exchange and clearing licenses in both securities and futures. The company operates markets across a diverse number of asset classes, including options and cash equities. All right, what's the last one? RYOJ. That doesn't look like it has any kind of information that we can read into, but I'm not interested in any of that. So here's what it is. Let's jump over here to the news feed and see what's happening this morning. So we got looks like bullish indicator open BLSH. BLSH, what is this? What is this stock? Bullish, is that the name of the company? Bullish is a institutionally focused global digital asset platform focused on providing market infrastructure and information services. Its objective is to provide mission-critical products and services that are designed to help institutions grow their businesses, empower individual investors, and drive the adoption of stable coins, digital assets, and blockchain technology. It exploded its it's expanded its product offering to provide trusted insights, authoritative news, data, indices, and transparent analysis to the digital assets industry, while facilitating partnerships, investment opportunities, and community engagement through its flagship consensus conference. Okay, so it's got some news. It IPO'd. Let's go look at this on the charts. BLSH. Bullish is the name of the company. Daily chart looks like it had a rough opening yesterday. So came up here to 118, popped down here to 68 cents, and now is trading around 78 cents. Not a whole lot of data here to be looked at for sure. Let's jump back over here to Xpun. Is Xpun still playing around in these levels? So these were the levels that we had marked up: 322, 260, came down to 260. And looks like it threw a wick up to that 322. Don't know if it can get there. Let's look at SNOA and see what it's doing. Okay, so Xpun looks the most bullish right now, but I mean, it's already made a move off of this bottom level, and it went up 40 cents to $3. Okay, let's continue looking through this news. So we got bullish BLSH. Is there any other news on this? Let me see. And then above that, we got JD and Wolf. No results found. SEC filings. They have an offering to employees via benefits plan. Okay. All right. So what's going on with JD? JD announced his second quarter interim 2025 results. Okay, and that's Beijing. So this must be a Chinese company. TeraWulf. Looks like TeraWulf secures long-term ground lease at some kind of site in New York, Lansing, New York. TeraWulf, leading owner and operator of vertically integrated next-generation digital infrastructure powered by predominantly zero-carbon energy, today announced the execution of a long-term ground lease for approximately 183 acres at the Cayuga site in Lansing, New York. This transaction marks a major step forward in the company's expansion of high-performance computing and AI data center hosting. The Cayuga lease executed with whatever has a term of 80 years and includes reciprocal purchase and sale options exercisable for $100 beginning in year 50. This lease provides TeraWulf with exclusive rights to develop up to 400 megawatts of digital infrastructure capacity, with 138 megawatts of low-cost, predominantly zero-carbon power expected to be ready for service in 2026. Okay. Pretty good news on TeraWulf. It is what's the float and all that stuff? This is a higher float, probably is. Yeah, higher float, but it's okay news. Looks like they're getting ready for 2026 on Wolf. So maybe one to just keep an eye on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're looking through the news and trying to see what there is that is going. We've already looked at this these small caps, SNOA, SOS, XOS, and XPON here. XPON was not able to attack that top level of 322. We go back over to the signals, but it's still leading the day in volume. Wolf up 18%. So this is Wolf's chart right here, the one we were just reading about the megawatts, whatever energy. Let's look at the daily chart for Wolf and see what it's looking like. So it's definitely had a rough start, came down to 54 cents and has been trading higher ever since. 57. It's going over here, dipped down to 215 and now is at 546. It has gapped up from 546 up here into this 655-ish area. So I'm wondering, is it going to start breaking over these levels here? So it's got this peak right here that was previously tested, 639, which it is currently above. It's got these peaks out here, 839 and possible up here to 931s. But this isn't super obvious, so I'm going to get rid of this right here. It's not super obvious. We had a lower high here at 9, so maybe that's a little bit more obvious there. I just marked all, I should have. Possible daily levels. But it's getting ready for 2026, so it's got things in the works. And being with that higher flow, you're probably going to have to be much more patient with it. because it's not going to be something that just rips out of the blue. Duplicate, especially with that news. That's future casting for next year. Future costing. All right. Anyway, still jump back over. SOS continues to throw the spikes, showing us that it can be very dangerous. 4 million shares traded on that one. SNOA still bubbling around as well. And none of these had catalysts on the day, so it's kind of, they're just trading purely on price action. Okay, check out AIRE. AIRE. Haven't seen that one on the pop. Okay, so I see it now. What is the float on this though? Let's go with AIRE. Tatiana called that out. Tatiana Realtor. Let's go AIRE. Oh. Okay, so AIRE does have news, looks like, for today. All right, so Dublin, Ohio, August 14th, 2025. Re-Alpha Tech Corp, the company, or Re-Alpha, an AI-powered real estate technology company, today announced financial results and business highlights for the quarter ended June 30th. Revenue increased 1,909% to approximately 1.3 million in the second quarter of 2025, compared to 62,353 in the second quarter of 2024. Cash at the end of the second quarter of 2025 was $587,311 compared to approximately 3.7 million in the second quarter of 2024. So cash at the end of second quarter was this. So it's a little bit of decrease in cash compared to this in the second quarter of 2024. So a little bit of fall off in cash. Gross profit was, or I guess by cash they mean liquid assets that they are ready to, they can spend. So they definitely decreased. Gross profit was $621,465 in the second quarter of 2025 compared to 44,000 in the second quarter of 2024. So it definitely went up quite a bit on the gross profit. We got to see what the net is though. So the increase was primarily driven by the mortgage brokerage transactions provided by our subsidiaries Re-Alpha Mortgage and GTG Financial Inc., which included loan origination fees, broker commissions, and processing fees. Gross profit margin declined from 71% to 50% year over year, reflecting higher cost of revenue from delivering loan brokerage services and technology solutions. They adjusted their EBITDA. So adjusted EBITDA was approximately 3.5 million in the red in the second quarter of 2025 compared to approximately 1.1 million in the second quarter. So a little bit of debt incurred there. Net loss was approximately 4.1 million in the second quarter compared to approximately 1.5 million in the second quarter of 2024. Let's see, Chief Financial Officer of Re-Alpha. We believe that our second quarter's performance demonstrates the scalability of our platform strategy and reflects the significant traction we are beginning to achieve across our real estate and mortgage operations. He further added, We remain focused on balancing our growth with fiscal discipline, and we commercialize our AI infrastructure as we commercialize our AI infrastructure and position Realpha for long-term value creation. Okay, so they definitely incurred some more debt though, for sure. This is business highlights and all this. All right, let me go and jump over to AI and ask some questions and see what it's got to say about Realpha, AIRE. So let's jump over here. Let's see. So tell me about, whoops, why is this capitalized? Tell me about, yo, am I just crazy? Why do I keep capitalizing this? Interest. Okay, while we're waiting on AI to figure that out, let's go over here and look back at Xpun. Was not able to get up through that 330 or that 322. Let's look at SNOA. Still doing this thing. Wolf is at 20% now. Wolf just continues to pile on up. I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes on Wolf. Well, the ATR is kind of low though. Oh, well, it closed with ATR of 41 cents. It may be up more now though, but I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on it. XOS. Oh yeah, it finished with this dictation over here. So let's see. Not really dictation, but it's reply. Great question, Air Canada. Air Canada is definitely a name to watch in the airline. Whoa. Is this the right? This isn't it. AIRE. It's supposed to be Realpha Corp. No, I was referring to Realpha Corp. Let me put that on there. Realpha Tech Corp. Oh man, I thought I was referring. Oh well. Let's see if it'll figure it out. Friendly. Okay, there we go. Friendly and professional as always. That's a joke right there. Friendly and professional as always. All right, let's dive into Realpha Tech Corp and their current strategies to boost investor interest. First, a quick clarification. There's some confusion in the market between Air Canada and Realpha Tech Corp. Based on your question, you're looking for Realpha Tech Corp, not the airline. Let's focus on that. Realpha Tech Corp investor interest strategies of August as of August 2025. As of today, there's a limited direct news about Realpha Tech Corp in the mainstream financial headlines. However, I'll synthesize what's available and highlight the typical approaches tech companies like Realpha use to attract investors in this environment. Key context and sector trends. So 813 CoreWeave doubles AI infrastructure, and CoreWeave is a whole different company. It looks like AI sector investment surge. So it could be moving on sentiment is what it's telling us. Arcturus Inc. partners with AMD for next gen AI chiplets. Partnerships drive visibility. So really there's nothing on this specific stock to, but sentiment. It's moving because other things are moving. EVTOL, AI adjacent sectors see strong investor demand. Innovation attracts capital. So people are just looking for somewhere to put their money. And if they come down here, I mean, it might be a while. How companies like Realpha Tech Corp boost whatever. You pretty much see it right here. I'm not about to read this all over again. Step one, strategic partnerships and alliances, which they do not have any news for. capacity expansion and technology upgrades. Okay, which they have not done. It says if they reinvest or is investing in new technology, and we don't know that yet. This also says if Realpha is announcing collaborations, which they have not announced yet. Transparent communication and guidance, capital structure moves. So it's more like a sentimental move, and we don't know how much a sentimental move is going to do. Wolf is continuing up as well, 22%. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on Wolf, man. Wolf is looking interesting. XOS is still holding 40%. SNOA going flat in the middle of this range here. And then XPON still struggling at the $3. Let's jump back over to news and all of that. And then we'll jump to Yahoo front page to see what people are seeing. Still the same news here, bullish. JD, Wolf, and Wolf is really getting a lot of attention. Almost 10 million shares, up 22%. Just a higher float. That's the only thing about it on Wolf. Let's jump over to back to signals and see if there was any new signals coming up. Let me redo this by time. Wait, it's not done by time right now. Let's see, 6. Yeah, I'm just not seeing any new signals. That's all that is. Oh yeah, it is. So volume, let's go ahead and clear this out. That should give us our pops by time. So we see this one is not up much. TNXP does not have any count. Now we're seeing some more. When I stop doing it by volume and I do it by time, we see a little bit more pops happening, but these got to get some volume. EDLB only up 7%, not impressive. We already seen SNOA tease up. Nope. Newegg is up to $100. Newegg Commerce. So since this time, what time is it right now? 6:38. Hasn't been many more pops. This one has only popped one time in this pre-market session. SNOA has popped 18 times. So it's getting very, very used and abused in this pre-market session. The shares being rotated. All right, let's go back up and do this by volume. Yeah, and let's do it by relative volume. Let's see who's got the most relative volume. XOS with 205 relative volume. So that's the deviations away from the norm, and it is quite a bit away. But as you can see over here, no press releases, no SEC filings. XPON only 64 in comparison to this 205. I want to see XOS fail before I try to touch anything, really, because there's a lot of interest over there. I want to make sure that the shorts are not going to stay over there and not move, because if they stay over there, how are we going to get a short squeeze if all the shorts are on that one stop? Let's do this by share float. So the highest float that we have on here is TNXP, and this scan is specifically looking for low floats. So you're not going to see anything that's like 20 million, 30 million, or whatever. I want to see the lowest of the low floats here on this scan. All right, let's go back over to our charts. Or no, let's look at Yahoo real quick. Front page, let me refresh that. XPON making its way back up there to that 322 level. I see you sneaking up there. This another time up here. So it already tested it once, 322. And looking at it again, 62 million shares on that one. Still leading the day with volume. SNOA is half the volume of this one. So let's see what that wants to do. SNOA, very small ranges now as well. Wolf continuing on up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Wolf, man. There may be some profits there, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. It's gonna be a long. I'm gonna have to be super patient with Wolf the way it's, because during intraday with that high float, it may just absolutely chop around. And it follows the market. Let's look what the overall market is doing here, because that's going to be a factor in Wolf. So NQ is red right now on the day. Zoom back. Let's go to the 15-minute. Okay, so NQ, NASDAQ came down in here and settled. Had a nice move down from 24,000 and settled in here. So it's really no clear direction as to where it's going to go. But let's look at the front page and kind of see if we can get an inkling. So on the front page of Yahoo, we got these stock market all-time highs aren't quite frothy. While asset prices can eventually become unsustainable, confidence is harder to suppress. Stock futures trade flat with PPI looming amid rate cut fervor. 127-year high. 117-year high at its busiest port in the U.S. Okay. All right. Earnings for Foxconn beats in AI demand. Tapestry forecast annual profit. Bullish stock tops $75 after strong IPO. That was not a strong IPO debut. It went up to 118 and dropped to 70 or 60 some dollars. That I wouldn't consider that strong. U.S. oil producers say OPEC price war will halt shale boom. We'll go look at oil real quick. Rate cut next month doesn't seem warranted. Feds dally. Tesla shame bypasses Norway as sales jump despite Musk politics. So Tesla's still going and doing his thing no matter what, even though Musk is chilling. Jay chilling in the streets. Let's see. Norway holds. Trump signals tough stance with Putin ahead of Alaska summit. Founder to inject another 1.5 billion in exchange for R&D assets. Futures pause after steady gains on Wall Street. Defending Trump's orders leaves DOJ lawyers showing strain. Okay. Cisco, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's look at oil and see what's going on over here on oil. Oil is currently at $62. It dropped down to 61 previously. Zoom back a little bit. So it has been coming on down. It hit a high up there of 71 and traded down here to 61. So down about 10 bucks per barrel. And the wolf is now looking like it wants to turn around a little bit. Topping tail, big topping tail, just kind of grindy. Don't like that. SOXS slipping on back down on the 15-minute. All right, so we got XPUN over here really testing this 322 level. Really testing it, but not able to get through it. Let's go to the 5-minute and the 1-minute. I actually tested it there and find some definite strain at that 322. SNOA super duper flat. Okay, so Wolf is just not impressing me anymore. Wolf may end up going down, but I'm gonna leave it up there just for a little bit, just to see what that open does. But everything else, I'm thinking it's gonna be a pretty dry day on XPUN after the open and SNOA, but could be absolutely wrong. These do have a lot of relative volume, but I don't know if that interest is from shorts or from longs. With no catalyst, I mean, maybe they'll break the necks of somebody if they post some like crypto catalyst or something, but other than that, it's going to be a pretty hard move up for them. Pretty hard move up for them. What is gold doing? Gold is also red on the day. Look at gold here. So gold has sweep or sweeped up to 3,500 or 3,500 just about, and then swung down to this 3,400, lost about $100 there, or a little bit less than $100. Then it swung all the way down here to 3. So that was a full $100 move back down on gold. Let's go look at the crypto world here and see what's going on here. Bitcoin, I know it had went over 120 for a little bit last night, and just looking for it to continue to push. Looking for some more coins to buy, actually. New coins coming out with actual projects that are not meme coins is what I focus on. Want to see that they're actually creating, actually building something, or giving a basis or original blockchain for people to build off of. Now, at this point, there's so many blockchains to build on. I don't know if, just a new one would do that much. But because there was one that was, let me see, there was one called Bio that I was trading. Let's see, Bio USD. What is it doing? Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to go check this out because my Bio, if I'm not mistaken, I bought down here at 6 cents. So I'm gonna go check this out at some point. Haven't really looked back at my crypto as of yet, but yeah, this is I got this at like 6 cents down here. So that is up quite a bit. See if it continues to march its way up. But Bio is a crypto that allows scientific researchers, biologists, all kind of researchers, a chain to share research, to sync up databases, to share information, share data, all of that good stuff. That's what Bio is. But it's definitely looking interesting. Now, in the Discord, I drop all of these into the Discord as I'm researching them. Sometimes I drop them in the Discord before I have them. Like, as soon as I see them and they look interesting, I drop them in the Discord and then I say, hey, I'm researching this. And so I'm looking to see what in here could be profitable for me at long term. So, just kind of keep my head on a swivel, get in where I fit in on these new ones, especially if they have a project that is not a meme stock or not meme stock, meme crypto, because I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Yeah. It seems like there's nothing to see here, but we'll see. I think I got 11,000 shares or something of that at 6 cents. So we'll see where it goes. If it wants to crash out, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If it wants to go to 20 cents, great. I mean, it wasn't a super big investment or anything. It was just like 10, 20 bucks. Wolf continuing up. Okay, so Wolf is getting more and more interesting as the day goes. And okay, Wolf seems to be drawing some attention, but I want to wait on a dip. I want to see if I can find where would be a logical place for it to dip to as it moves up. It's got some catalysts on the day, and it's not horrible. It's up 25% now, and I'm seeing news continue to come out on it. So let's look. Wolf, Terra Wolf. Let's see what this news is. This is a 8K form of warrant agreement. TeraWolf shares are trading higher after the company announced it signed over a 200 megawatt. Wait, let me read this again. TeraWolf shares are trading higher after the company announced it signed over 200 megawatts in 10-year AI hosting agreements with FluidStack. What is FluidStack? What is FluidStack? FluidStack. All right, Fluid is an innovative player in cloud computing and edge computing sectors. It instead of relying solely on traditional centralized data centers, Fluid leverages a distributed network of underutilized hardware, such as idle servers, desktops, and even edge devices across the globe. How Fluid operates its business model: decentralized cloud infrastructure using spare compute from global devices. Cloud computing offers scalable cloud services via its distributed network. Edge computing deploys workloads closer to end users by utilizing local or regional devices. Cost efficiency reduces cost by tapping into existing hardware rather than building new data centers. Sustainability promotes green computing by maximizing hardware utilization and reducing e-waste. Okay. All right, so that is Fluid Stack. Okay. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on all of this. Looks interesting. Looks more Wolf looks more interesting than the small caps right now for sure. Or the low. It might be a small cap. I don't know. Let me see. Wolf. I don't think it is, but maybe. It's got a higher float. Market cap. Okay, so it's right on the cusp of a small cap. Short float 88 point. So about 20% of the total float is shorted. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in Wolf. I want to see where it goes. All right, X-Pun slipping on back down away from that 322 that we had identified. SNOA, SO slipping on down. Okay, so yeah, Wolf is looking sweet, looking sweet, looking like it wants to get over $7. Definitely gonna have to wait for a dip down though. It might break over 7 here. That means I'm gonna have to wait quite a bit. Yep, breaking over 7. Let's see if it jumps. Yep, 701 there. All right. They just keep reposting the same news that we were looking at with the 200 whatever. They keep reposting. I keep seeing it pop up here. So it is what it is. Almost 7 o'clock, top of the hour. But overall, the week has been going pretty good. Looking for some end of the week action, maybe. Don't know if we're going to see any good news. May have to focus on some of these little higher flow stocks that have better news. Because definitely don't want to leave them without any love, you know? Without any love. Nothing to see here. What do you think about Wolf? You like the news? You don't like the news? What do you think about it? You think it's trash? Think it won't go anywhere today? Looks like it did bump its head up there at $7 though. Took a little dip there as to 686. Hopefully this is a start of some type of pullback. Point of control is at the 651s down here. So I will definitely wait to see what the trading looks like around here. And the market, as long as the market holds kind of flat, I think I could be in a good spot with Wolf. But if it starts to dump, Wolf is a slow follower of the market. So if it starts to dump, it may Wolf may go down too. Okay. Yeah, Wolf is looking like that one. It's just grinding a lot. Like over to signals. Anything else that I may be missing that I'm not seeing here? No, I'm not seeing much. Wow, BSLK down 47%. It gave back everything. I know me and Donnell, we were talking about BSLK yesterday afternoon, and when it was up here at 17, we were like, yeah. Or Donnell was like, yeah, that thing's probably gonna dive. A personal skincare company or personal health company or whatnot, going from $3 up to 17, definitely a big move, but gave it almost all back. Definitely headed back to $3 there. 47% down. Well, you a bag holder on that. You are a big bag holder. SNOA just too flat. Wolf going on up to around 720, up 30%. I don't think I missed much today. I think we've seen the heat of the pre-market, which was kind of cold for sure. But with all the energy that went out yesterday in BSLK, I think people just don't want to get back profits, to be honest. X-Plane looking super choppy. Up 130% still. Tatiana, what is special about Wolf? Um, so let's go and see, because I just let me see what we got here. Wolf said, so Wolf says TeraWolf shares trading higher after the company announced it signed over 200 megawatts in 10-year AI hosting agreements with FluidStack. So with this whole AI movement, there's been an explosion in the need for energy efficiency, more space to house servers, idle servers, and just equipment in general, right? And so, it doesn't matter how big you want the cloud to be, you're going to have to increase your physical infrastructure to continue to facilitate all this AI demand, right? AI databases, AI, the brain of AI, basically. So with this, the company is giving over a huge portion or a huge piece of energy for 10 years over to this AI hosting, whatever fluid stack. So I think with all of the AI buzz that we've seen, all of the crypto buzz, AI and crypto have been two terms that have set the market on fire almost every time they hit, right? Um, The only thing that for day trading that I'm kind of iffy on is this high float, right? Could be super choppy. We could be waiting forever for it to make another move up, right? It may be into the afternoon. The other thing is on the news that they had, they said that they were this would be they're getting ready for 2026, right? So I don't know if I want to let me refresh this. Why isn't the news showing up here? I don't know if I want to mess with this, if this is going to be something that's going to be fully implemented in 2026 and not 2025, because we got a couple months left here. Wolf for Wolf to reach 2026, and I'm really, I'm not like trying to jump in front of a moving train that's not going to be moving for a while. You know what I mean? It's on its way, but not yet. So yeah, ready for service. So this is going to be ready for service in 2026, located on the site of a former coal-fired power plant. Property features robust existing electrical infrastructure, so that's going to save them money. An industrial scale water intake system, which will be able to cool the servers, cool the equipment, because with all of that computing, it gets hot. It gets hot. Let's see what else. Attractive power markets, predominantly zero carbon energy. So basically, they're also reducing their carbon footprint. Let's see, second half. So, and it says this is the second half of 2026. So this is late 2026. They're going to be trying to get up to 400 megawatts. So I really don't see any specifics for early 2026, but either way it goes, it's future casting. So I really don't know exactly about this this news here, because it's future casting. Oops. Don't know. I'm just kind of sitting in the wind on that one. But I definitely haven't seen any. Let's see. Xpun moving back up towards that 322 level. Still leading the day with 75 million shares traded on Xpun. No catalyst. Continues to have these little pop-ups. Through SNOA, not looking the best. Okay, so Xpun is looking the most bullish again. Another time. So this is the 1 minute. Let's go look at the 5 and the 15. Let's zoom back a little bit. This is a lower high, supposedly. Yeah, 311. Oh, gotta switch screens. This is a lower high. It was popping up just a minute, but it's kind of giving that back under that 322, back to that point of control of $3. Continues, $3 just continues to be kind of like a trampoline for it, but the bounces are getting lower and lower. Came up here to 318, went up to 322, 313, and yeah, the bounces are getting lower and lower to the $3. Dibby, let's see, good morning. I think it's the investor conference call news too. Huh. There's a conference call for Wolf. Let's see. Did not see that. Oh, yeah. Oh, this was announced yesterday. Okay, I see. So investor conference call. I did not look back at this. So it says TeraWulf, which owns and operates vertically integrated next generation digital infrastructure primarily powered by zero energy. Today announced that just must be a duplicate. Today announced that is second quarter 2025 investor conference call, originally scheduled for Friday, August 8th, has been rescheduled for 8 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday, August 14th. So that's already happened. That is, yeah. So we'll see the reaction on Wolf of that, because that should be going on right now. Did not see that conference call, I guess I would have seen it eventually. I wasn't just trying to jump in because it's a higher float. Definitely wanted to see a dip, which would have gave me more time to research, but I did not look there, and it's literally yesterday. 13th, 14th, and coming back down to the $7 now. X-Pun, small little breakout here, breaking towards 322s. Once again, coming up there to that 322 level. It's going to get slammed again. How many times has it been up here? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Quite a bit of a wall should be here. But if it does break, it's got a lot of what's the RVOL on this now? RVOL on X-Pun. Whoa. X-Pun 322 up to 327. RVOL is 82 times the whoa. Okay, so it had this previous level up here that we had marked up at 368. Wow. Did it drop news or something? What happened? Nope, no new news, just going up a little bit. But do the shorts have a reason to sell is a question. Are they just going to add at these levels up to the 450 and look for it to crash back down? 322s is that bottom level. Has an ATR of 28 cents. Just got up X-Pun and AERT are the only ones on the scan. Yep. That's what I'm looking at too on the on my signals. X-Pun leading the way. 80 million shares traded. Now ARET, I did not see AERT. ERT. Don't see that one. AERT. It's got 44 million. What's the float on this one? That's probably the only reason that it wouldn't be showing up for me. AERT. Floats looking like $11 million. Yeah. For a cheap one like that, it needs to be a lower float would have popped on for me. It's the only reason I don't see it. Shares outstanding 47 million too. Yeah, that's probably the reason it's going down right now, under 1. Okay, but back over to where were we? X-Pun is where we were. Throwing up the wicks up to 358. This will be 2 times that it's come up here and failed if it does fail. Let's see what it wants to do. Throwing up some wicks on the 1 minute. Let's look at the 5 real quick so we don't get tunnel vision. Came up here to this high here, 339, and it's bouncing around this 339 level. Let's look at the 15. Forming a top and tail wick here, back towards this 322 on the 15. 10-cent fall back to the 22s. Will it fail it or will it hold? Yeah, I see tails on a X-Pun right here. Well, this is the 1 minute chart. On the 5 and 15 minutes, I see wicks up here as well, and that's why I'm looking at this to fail back under this 22 because it is getting these big old wicks on the 15 minute. This wick was from 350 down to 324, almost a 25-cent wick. And this 15-minute candle hasn't closed yet, but we'll see in 3 minutes what it wants to do. And let's look over here at the 5 minute. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing those wicks, which is why I'm like, Other thing I'm looking for, I really like stocks that have an ATR of at least 75 cents. And this one has ATR of 28 cents. So it's at least like, I'm trying to get I want the stock to easily be able to give 30 cents, right? Easy 30 cents if it's going in one direction. With 28 cents, it's got a lot of work to do. It's got a lot of work to do. Doing some popping, but this is looking like it's going to be a lower high. We'll see though. Got this bottom here, 330. People still messing around with it. Did not end up coming all the way down to the 322. 348s. They're playing around at 350. That's a $half level. So I'm wondering will shorts attack it again here. At this $half level like they did the first time. This is a second entry. Either this is a second entry for the shorts or the shorts are about to get pushed to the moon. But yeah, it's looking more like a secondary entry for shorts around this $half level. Are you ready to bleed out? Tapping that 350 again. Yeah, something's sitting at that 350. Something's definitely sitting at it on these wicks. It's CNOA broke down, still going down. Nothing has met my criteria yet. But sometimes it is what it is. You wake up early, you're looking for something, and it doesn't happen, and you're like, oh man, but it's like it is what it is, man. It is what it is. $340s. Are you gonna go ahead and dump back to 322s? Okay, so these candles are getting smaller and smaller. Let's see where it ends up going here. Tapping 350 once again, lower high. Is it gonna break this? 352? Woo! Okay, so there was the other level that we identified up here at 368. Is it gonna go ahead and break that too? Almost got it. Okay. Okay, yeah, push right through. That was a little bit too easy of a push there. It looked like it's gonna get a big rejection or a small rejection. X-Pun up 179%. Got up there, tapped that level of 368. Will it keep a body above it, or is it going to stop right here? Nope, slipped right on through it. Let's see if it jumps over. Small breakout, 375. Where's that next level? 441. Oh, that's a long way. That'll be an insane move there. That'll be really crazy. Good morning, Donnell. Watching X-Pun, no catalyst, just kind of move on the whim of the people. Trying to hold up that 368. And these marks came from the daily chart. I really don't use pre-market data for these. I just like the daily charts. They tend to work better, it looks like. But yeah, definitely trying to hold up this 368 right here. Little bounce off of it. Definitely not looking like a strong finish through there. Let's see if it gets an engulfing candle back to this 68. Nope. Small pop out. Yeah, these breakouts, if they're buying breakouts, these breakouts are not working out for them. More and more of them are just snatching back. Because think about it. They got fooled once, twice, three, four times getting burned by breakouts, and then one goes. Now up here, we get a small breakout, small breakout, small breakout, and now it snatches them back again. So giving those false breakouts is not looking good at all on this one. Coming right back down to that 368 level, just kind of sitting on it. How easy does it slip back under though? Got through it with a little bit of, a little bit of doing, but what does that slip back look like? It's gonna get big buyers back up to that 368 or no? Yeah, Xpun, it's got revenue growth, but still mm, making more money, but your debt is, okay, slightly slipped through. They're trying to hold it. Okay, so a little test there. So this bottom here, let's see, what's this? 365 breakdown is probably gonna yeah, there's another little break. But if it's, I wonder, is it playing with shorts and longs? Because if so, shorts could be trying to buy these little breakouts and they're failing as well. So it could be tearing up both sides. Yeah, I feel the pain of the shorts now. Trying to buy that little breakdown and then pop. right back up here to 81 cents. So that's what, 20 cents into the red on for a short. Okay, lower highs. Shorts like, oh yeah, it's definitely gonna break down this 364. You don't know that, and you don't know how long it's gonna take to get down there. Look at that. Look at that. It's tearing up both sides. This is a pocket buster. Yup. Mm-hmm. Yup. Small little breakout. If buyers bought this, are they gonna get done nasty as well? If this 387 is gonna pull back. 395. They're doing both sides nasty. It's like it wants $4. $4 popped up there. Okay. Do they want to buy this breakout? They buy this breakout, will it snatch back down? It's doing both sides pretty nasty for sure. Yep. Buy that top thinking it's gonna do it, and now you're headed back the other direction. So Xpun, I'm thinking it's gonna have to give up on the day for anything else to be moving, because it's 97, it's almost 100 million shares traded on this thing. Just playing in these ranges. Bottom side of this is 386. Has room back down here to the 370s. BMRA is at 17%. What do you got going over here? It's a little low volume one, or not low volume. Well, it might be low volume. Lower volume. It just hit 1 million. What's the news on this one? BMRA. United Emirates Ministry of Health. What are they talking about? 10-minute home test. That's not what we want to see. It's up 19% on BMRA. Let me see BMRA. Very low volume. I'm not sure about that. Not sure about that one at all. It has an R-vol of 22 times, 23 times the R-vol. But yeah, I'm not. Xpun is still winning the day. Yeah. BMRA may be something that does something later on, but I mean, it's got catalysts on the day. Or does it? Let me zoom up. Yeah, it does have catalysts on the day. It's just not the greatest. 10-minute home test detection for Helicobacter pylori. Yeah, that's, I don't know. What's the float on this one? Float for BMRA is 2.39 million. Throwing some wicks up there as well. Not my cup of tea. All right, so we did come down a little bit off of that $4. I think this thing is just playing with people's souls at this point. So I'm gonna be patient. You know, I'm going to, if this is going to be the focus of the day for shorts, it's gonna be hard to get a short squeeze anywhere else until the volume dies on this one. So just gonna be patient, sit back, fold my arms. Actually, I'm not gonna fold my arms. I'm going to get going to my destination. By the time I get over there, it'll probably be after market open, a little bit after market open, and see where the market is sitting at that time. Anyway, we do have the Discord that has been posted into the chat where we continue conversations. RexCon, I did answer your question about making that scanner for range. You wanted to scan for lower range stocks, so I put that in there. And if you need any other scripts, well, that really wasn't a script. That was like conditional statements with TOS, but that wasn't really scripting. But if you need anything else, let me know. If that, just test it out. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, we can always do some actual script in the in there. But anyway, if you need any help, if you're using TOS and you need any help making scripts or making scanners or whatever, just let me know. And the two platforms that I'm using here is TOS, Thinkorswim from Charles Schwab, and Benzinga. With Benzinga as a paid service, TOS is a free service, so you know it works. But anyway, I'm about to jet out of here. Appreciate you guys. Tatiana says Wolf broke 7 again. I'm gonna be watching Wolf. I'm telling you, something is amiss on Wolf. I wanna. It's got the news. It's a grinder. But the only thing is, I gotta be super duper patient. I gotta wait for a real dip and not be buying too high. Because Wolf is one of those that if it does start to fall, people are like, you know, it's good news, but we want to take some profit, right? I don't want to get caught before they're done taking profit. I don't want this thing to go back down to like, you know, get in at 675 and it falls to 6. And I'm like, I want to get an actual dip and definitely keep my head on the swivel. But yeah, that's the analysis for today. The ending scanner that I'm looking at is and actually, let me see if I can put this up here. Ending scanner, main, right, ending scan would be, is it this one? Yeah, so XPUN up 183%, SNOA up 91%. I think XPUN is still going to be leading the day because there's so much volume there. And then BMRA was that last one that's up to $4, is up to 33. Well, we just saw it at 19%, but it's up to 34% now. So these four are the four that I'll be watching during the day. If anything else pops up, I mean, it's got so much competition on the board. Let me stretch this in a little bit so you can actually see what there it is. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of competition on the board now for anything else coming up. I mean, we got 103 million shares on this one. I mean, if something comes up with 1 million shares now, it's like, oh, okay, that's it, because of all of this competition on the board overhead. Anyway, that is it for today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And as always, see you guys in the next one. Peace.